On today's episode, you get to see me destroy a perfectly good ute. Whoops.
Oh, come on.
Right, so it's a brisk 2 degrees out this morning, but I'm going to look at doing something about this cowl panel. Yay. So, for those of you who tuned in last time, we discovered that this is bad. Starts from here to there. We're going to have to try and figure out how bad it is, and I think the first part of that is going to be, I'm going to take out the windscreen. I would prefer not to break the windscreen because it's actually in reasonably good shape. And even if it wasn't, or even if it isn't, it's preferable that it's not broken because I don't want to have to clean that up. It's way easier to deal with as one piece of glass.
Good luck with that.
Okay, so getting the glass out in one piece, nice and neatly, didn't really go according to plan. But this glass is very old. I wouldn't be shocked if it is near original or original. And the amount of windscreen adhesive they used is ridiculous, which has made it a bit of a bastard to get out. Ironically, it was only that one side that was really bad, and if I had started the other side, I might have been fine. That's the windscreen out. That was effort. One thing I have noticed that I like about the Ford is, by the looks of this cowl panel comes out from these spot welds to take this plate off. Whereas on the Holdens, you have to take all of that out. So for the moment, we're just going to focus on getting these braces off, a couple of other cover plates off, and see what we're working with. Alright, we're just giving the spot welds a quick clean up, and then I'm boring them all out with a 8mm, 8.5mm drill bit. The key is to cut them out just enough that you cut through the top spot weld without breaking through. Now, I don't care how good you are, you're going to forget where stuff goes, so make sure you mark stuff as you're going. Some days it looks like it must have been a Friday job, because have a look at that for a seam weld. It's not good. It's good for me because it means it comes off easy.
Let the archaeology commence. This is not great. Some crunchy bits and stuff, but about what we expect.
Okay, so we've gotten our bracing off, and this is what we've got going on under there. And it could be worse, it can always be worse, but there isn't a huge amount left in that structure, so we're going to have to remake all that. So we've got all the bracing off this side now, and it's arguably worse than the other side, interestingly enough. You know, mostly the usual stuff that we expect, but we're now starting to paint a picture about the holes in the floor. So now we're just going to go through all the wiper mechanisms and hardware off, just to give us a bit more room to work with. And then I've got to go through and peel out all this windscreen adhesive that is just gummed on there. Ironically, only really around one side and the base. Look how clean this windscreen is. Look at this. This is beautiful. And then from here we have to drill out 700 spot welds. Now this bit is tedious, but it's worth taking the time to do and do it well. I have to go back and repeat a few times because there's sometimes a little bit that just holds on, and trying to bash it up just doesn't work very well. I'm just using a small cold chisel here to separate it, and you can see that they all sort of come up fairly easily. Got to re-drill a couple, but overall, pretty good. Now, if you are doing an old Ford, don't forget these little ones that are on this sort of cross brace here. They are fairly integral to the structure. Now, this lower lip was bad, so I just gave it a quick clean up with the wire brush just to try and make it a little bit easier for myself, but unfortunately I found that
most of these spot welds were disintegrating more than they were drilling out. So we opted just to go with the grinder and just cut it off. Now this is a trade-off because it's way quicker doing it this way, but it's way more work to put it back together. And if you want to reuse the upper cowl like I would like to, it gives you a lot more pieces you've got to make. So this is what we've got underneath. It's actually not as bad as I was expecting, but we'll give it a vac out and see what it looks like with all the leaves and stuff coming out of it. But so far, on the whole, I'm quite impressed really. I was expecting this all to be rotted out. So there it is, all cleaned up. And I mean, aside from a couple of rust holes and bits and pieces that I kind of expected, it's really pretty good. I got to go through and pull all that section out that I cut off, but I mean, I really can't complain about that. I've seen far worse than this. And given the amount of rust and water that I saw coming through, I was expecting that this thing was just going to be gone. So yeah, no, pretty happy. I am going to have to completely remake this section because it wasn't actually metal. It's mostly bog and filler made to sort of look like something, which explains why the water got caught under it. This vent is okay. That's going to have to come out. This vent is not so much okay because it has holes here, there. I've got those holes there, and all of this is kind of degrading. So here's the current dilemma. Do I remove the lower cowl panel and make up new pieces, which would then involve having to take all the dash out and remaking essentially everything? Do I try and patch these inner corners here and just sort of go for good enough, or do I just buy a whole new replacement lower and upper cowl and do that? I really don't want to do that because they're expensive and I'm trying to do this as a budget build. Okay, so we've opted for dash out because I've got to take it out to do this anyway. I'm going to try and make a mess of this. So one thing you well-versed Ford guys are probably aware of is there really isn't that much holding this. This dash pad only has a couple of screws here, a couple of screws in the back there, and then this kind of just lifts out. Just going to make life a hell of a lot easier if I can get behind there. Also, big sad discovery. These floors are actually worse than I thought. Holes. There's a hole in the corner that you can't see. Holes. So that sucks. And just like that, the dash top's out at least. Yes, way easier to take the dash top off without the windscreen in. And now that gives me access to all this back here. I'd just like to point out once again, 13, 11. Why? Just make them all the same damn size. Also, while I was wrestling with this, I found this. Good. And some old tape from when we obviously respread it last. Surely there is an easier way than this to get this dash frame out. I'm not taking the stereo column out. I just want to be able to move the thing around, at least for a little bit longer. This is done. I'm pretty sure that that is the last bolt. And all of this should come out. Ah, success. Now I've just got a menagerie of other wires and... What is that shit? Ah, okay. Well done on the Philips home wiring. Inline fuse into a clip, into a bracket, into something else. Awesome. I'm going to go through and pull all this stuff out and try and take all this out of here. Then we can start looking at what's behind that. Out of my way. Just chill. Chill. Thank you. dash out. Okay. Yes. We now have access to like most things. All of our, vents and clips and wiring and such. I can fix all this business and whatever that was. Fix that up. I think that the dash out was the right choice. Let's go with the dash out was the good choice. Well, there's something cool. 3rd of December, 74. She was a late 74. Now, I'm going to unplug all the dashy wiry bits. Get out there. That's part of this is, because I'm recording it all, I have kind of like a map as how to put it all back together. What does that go to? What goes up? Oh, that's for the heater control tap. The main support for the steering column is actually bolted to the cowl panel, which was what I was hoping to avoid. Fantastic. Also, can any of you answer, is that normal? Because that looks awful and or suspicious. And kind of gross. Alright, I've just chucked it in neutral. I'm going to have to take the damn column out because otherwise I can't get to half this stuff. But question, so my key will only turn off if the car is in reverse. Is that normal for column shift manual? I haven't seen that before. But anyway, I'm going to have to basically take everything apart now. Okay, we've got the vents out. I'm going to take this wiring harness apart. So now I know that my wiring harness is safe. Just to give you guys an idea of where we're at. So we've got all of our dashes out. Our wiring harness is over there. Vents are out. We can see, an idea of what is going on in the back there. And, under here, there's a little peaky of light down there as well. So, it's not bad. It's not bad. We're okay. We're just going to have to do a little bit more fully disassembling than I was probably originally hoping. But that's okay. That's good. We're gonna get it done. My quick and dirty rebuild is going a little bit more in depth than we were originally planning, but I think it's better if we do it properly. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish clearing all this out. We're going to take the cowl out. We'll do the floors. We're probably now at the point where it's going to be, engine out, gearbox out. We're going to take the whole lot down. Wasn't really the plan, but at least by the end of it, we'll have quite a good ute, hopefully. So if you guys are enjoying this video series, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. If you've got any suggestions or ideas as to what I could be doing better, by all means, please let me know. And I'll see you guys in the next one.